I want to really say that I'm really looking forward to once again compete. This is the third time, and having done very well on the past races, you find that I hope to really run my personal best and run a course record. I think what really makes Berlin so nice is that one is that the course is so nice. It's a flat course, and also the weather is, I can really say, 85% good. There is also the organization and the people within the city that along the coast is lots of people cheering. So it's really spectacular because you feel that the kind of motivation all through from the start. Yeah, I think it's really a great privilege and honor to be invited to such a strong field because at times you find that we go to competitions, winning, run a good time, but you might not get an opportunity to compete with other strong guys. So this is an opportunity of its own, whereby we have three strong guys, each potential to run a world record, and each and every one is going for it. So I think this is, I can really say that it's one of the toughest times that it has never really happened to have these three strong guys, each and every one going for the record. And we know that all these guys have potential. So with good weather and with this kind of approach, you find that I'm really seeing a situation whereby all the three guys will run a fast time. For my two rivals, I think first, if we try to analyze maybe Eliud Kipchoge, you find that he has that kind of consistency. And the positive part of it is he has the will to really take it head on. You see, he can take it head on from the start. He really wants to really make sure that he keeps pushing, trying to keep on the time. And to Bekele, you find that Bekele is one who is not really used to run in front. So I can really say that on his part, he always like running from behind. But towards the end, he always wants to really come and close the gap and push it. But at times, that is not always going well. You see what he did in London. He wanted to come from behind and then closing the gap and winning, but that was not possible. So sometimes, if he's not in a position maybe to get hold on the pace, if it is too fast, I think that is his weakest point. By the time he tries to catch up with the guys, people are gone. So, but for Eliud, I think Eliud is more consistent. You see, he's more consistent. He runs an even pace. So if the pace is more, if the pacesetters are not in a position to maintain the pace, it gives him a problem. Yeah, but if the pace is maintained, he can really maintain a certain pace. But for him, you find that if he has recovered very well from the previous race, then he can hold on the pace for as long as it takes. But if he has not really recovered very well, then it might give him a problem because recently he ran very fast. So I don't know how his preparation has been, but you find that it's just like an exam. You have to study, prepare, and everything. So during the exam time, if you are lucky enough that what you've really revised so much comes in your exam, then you're in a position to really pass the test. So everybody has done his best. It is only that we want to really see and try to execute it in the rest day competitions. So everybody is really trying to see what he or she can really perform. Trying to compare last year, I think my shape this year is, I can really say it's far much better than last year. I stand a better chance to even run faster than last year because last year I think I was towards the end I was not strong enough as required. But if all goes well this year, I think I have the potential to run fast towards the end. That can give me an advantage to even run faster than last year and even beat my friend Granisa Bekele. I think the chances are, I can really say 80%. Yeah, I don't give it 90, but 80%. The chances is that there's a high possibility that we are really going to have a world record. Because if you try to see the kind of approach, everybody wants to, it's not even about beating your opponent, it's just running a world record, yeah. So if everybody's really trying to go for against the time, I think chances are 80%. At times you find that the presence of the strong guys, it has one advantage, and on the other side also it can be disadvantageous, because once we have strong guys, and if we fail to have somebody who's ready to take on the pace, you find that if the pressure will be so much trying to look at your opponent, maybe trying to see this guy is very strong. If you try to speed up, they're closing the gap. If you try to slow down, they're slowing. You see? If the other guy tries to speed up, then the guys are closing. If you try to slow down, they're also slowing. So you find that it might reach a point whereby we'll be running against each other, not against the time. At times you find that it slows the time so much. And you find that sometimes athletes can compete in such a situation until they only want to go for a win. You see? You want to beat your guy, not to beat the time. So this one wants to beat this other guy. This one wants to beat this. Just a win, you see? Because if you try to see last year, that's what happened. If Bekele was really ready to go for a world record, you find that he could not stay behind all through. He could join me as quickly as possible and then try to run together, try to push. When he closes the gap, he could not just close the gap and hold on. He could close the gap and try to push. Then I try also to close, I try to push. Then we could have a world record. But it reached a point whereby he just wanted to beat Kipsang. He didn't want to beat time. And he lost the world record. So sometimes it's very tricky. For somebody like me or for these guys, some tactics and plans, you just develop it as you run. If you see this is not going to work, then you change plan. If you see this is not going to work, then you have to change. You just change as you race.